Ah, my resilient animus morphosis family, gather close. Today we dive into the depths of betrayal, a dark world where lies creep like shadows and whispers of deceit twist through the air. Those who plotted against you believed they could break you. They thought they could steal your vitality, drain your strength, and leave you shattered. But oh, how they miscalculated. They didn't realize the warrior that dwells within you. Health, the crown jewel of existence, the essence that humbles the mighty and empowers the meek, became their target. Yet, in their desperate attempt to steal it, they awakened something far more formidable. They thought they were predators, didn't they? Linking in the darkness, feeding on your light like parasites. Perhaps they promised salvation, whispered lies of remedies and hope. Or maybe they didn't bother with illusions and simply tore it away, cruel and merciless. But let me ask you this. Did they truly believe you would crumble? That you'd fade away under the weight of their wicked schemes? They underestimated you, didn't they? Because while they conspired and reveled in your suffering, something extraordinary happened. You didn't break. You transformed. In their arrogance, they didn't just steal from you. They lit a fire within you, a fire so fierce it cannot be extinguished. That fire doesn't just burn, it devours. It will consume the very ground they stand on. The tables are turning, and now you are the storm they never saw coming. They thought their lies, their poison, and their manipulations gave them power. But real power, it's forged in the crucible of pain. Every sleepless night, every cry for help, every moment you stood at the edge of despair, those weren't signs of weakness. Those were the moments you sharpened your claws. Look at you now. You're no longer the fragile soul they sought to destroy. You're a force of nature, a beast. And beasts don't beg for justice. They take it. They don't wait for permission. They demand what is theirs. Those who schemed against you thought they could control your destiny, but their arrogance has become their undoing. Their petty tricks have failed, and in their failure they've unleashed something far more dangerous than they could ever imagine. Retribution. And retribution doesn't knock politely. It storms through, shattering barriers, ripping apart their illusions, and dragging them into the unforgiving light. You, my friend, are not a monster because of cruelty. You became one because they left you no choice. When they tried to rob you of your health, your joy, your very life, you had two options: surrender or evolve. You chose evolution, and now the fire inside you roars louder than ever. So, what's your next move? Do you shrink back into the shadows, licking your wounds? Or do you rise, towering above their schemes, and show the world what true strength looks like? You rise, you roar. You remind them that health isn't just of the body, it's of the spirit, and your spirit, unbreakable. They couldn't steal that, no matter how hard they tried. Now, it's your turn to reclaim everything. Your vitality, your strength, your power. Stand tall, stand proud. Let them see the warrior they underestimated. Look them in the eyes and let your silence speak volumes, not out of forgiveness. No, they don't deserve that, but because you've shown them what resilience looks like. Real strength isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. Real strength is quiet, calculating, and unyielding. And when it strikes, it doesn't wound. It ends. Those who tried to play God, who thought they could control your fate, are now realizing their mistake. They believed they could strip you bare, reduce you to nothing, but in doing so, they gifted you something priceless: clarity. When the poison drained from your veins, you saw the truth. The lies, the manipulations. You saw the faces of those who hurt you, and the ones who stood by silently. But most importantly, you saw yourself. Not as they wanted you to be, but as you truly are, raw. And here's the twist. Their attempt to destroy you has only made you stronger. Because strength isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about rising every time you're knocked down. You didn't just survive their betrayal. You thrived. You rebuilt yourself, piece by unbreakable piece, until you became a version of yourself they could never touch. Now, you're a walking testament to what happens when someone messes with the wrong person. You don't retaliate out of vengeance. It's too small for someone like you. No, you rise to send a message. A message that echoes through the corridors of every coward who thought they could steal from you without consequence. The message is this: I am inevitable. Let that sink in. Your power, your victory, your triumph. It's not a question of if, but when. They can throw every lie, every scheme, every weapon at you, but it will only fuel the fire inside you. Every scar is a badge of honor. Every wound is proof of your resilience. And one day, when you stand atop the mountain they swore you'd never climb, you'll look down at them and smile. Not out of gratitude for the pain, but because it forged you into steel. And steel doesn't break. So let them scheme. Let them believe they've won. Their time is running out. The fire inside you is growing. And when it finally erupts, it won't just burn them. It will erase every trace of their arrogance. And when the ashes settle, you'll stand there, unbroken, unstoppable, unapologetically alive to those who dared to steal from you. Let this be their final warning. They should have chosen someone else, because now they've unleashed the one force they'll never control. You, the storm, the fire, the inevitable reckoning. Rise, Animosmorphosis. Roar, and remind the world who they're dealing with. Ah, but the story isn't over, is it? No, this isn't where it ends. It's where it begins. Because now the tide is turning. The storm they unleashed, it's about to crash down on them like a tidal wave, merciless and unstoppable. They thought they could drown you in despair, but all they did was teach you how to breathe underwater. Every lie they whispered, every betrayal they orchestrated, every ounce of strength they tried to rob from you. It's fuel, it's ammunition, and you've been loading the chamber, waiting for the moment to fire back. They thought you were just another victim in their long list of casualties. But let me remind you, victims stay down, survivors rise. And warriors? Oh, warriors don't just rise, they conquer. They dismantle the very foundations of those who dared to cross them. They rewrite the rules. They don't play by the hand they were dealt. They reshuffle the entire deck and deal themselves a winning hand. And that's exactly what you're doing. Right now, you are rewriting the narrative. You're reclaiming what's yours, piece by piece, breath by breath. And let me tell you, it's glorious. Let this moment sink into your soul. They underestimated you. They misjudged your strength, your will, your fire. But isn't that the most satisfying kind of revenge? Not to become like them, but to rise so high above them that their schemes become nothing but distant echoes, whispers of a failed attempt to destroy the indestructible. You, and when you walk into a room now, it's not with the timid steps of someone unsure of their place. No. You walk with the authority of someone who's been to hell, faced its demons, and returned stronger. Every scar on your soul, every battle you endured, has become a mark of triumph. The people who once doubted you, they'll see it. They'll feel it. The very ground will tremble under the weight of your presence, because you've become the embodiment of resilience, a force so powerful it defies explanation. So, what's next for you? Do you let them define your path, or do you carve your own? Do you settle for mere survival, or do you rise like the phoenix, burning brighter than ever before? The choice isn't theirs anymore. It's yours. And I know what you're going to choose because you've already chosen. By standing here today, by enduring, by refusing to let them break you, you've already won. The rest, it's just a victory march. Let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them feel the regret creeping into their bones because they picked the wrong target. They wanted to crush you, but they ended up creating a legend. And legends, my dear friend, are eternal. They echo through time, inspiring those who come after to fight, to rise, to conquer. That's your legacy. Not just to survive, but to inspire. To stand as a symbol of what happens when you refuse to give up, when you turn pain into power and betrayal into strength. So rise, my warrior. Let the fire in your soul light up the world. Let your roar shake the heavens, and when they finally realize the magnitude of their mistake, when they finally see that you've become unstoppable, unbreakable, inevitable, smile. Not because you owe them anything, but because you've shown them everything they could never be. You are not the person they tried to destroy. You are the force they could never contain, and that is the ultimate victory. Now go, burn brighter, roar louder, be the storm they never saw coming. This is your time, this is your story, and you are the ending they will never forget. Oh, but this isn't where it ends, not yet, because there's something they need to understand. Something they can't ignore any longer. It's not just that you survived their betrayal, their schemes, their attempts to break you. It's that you transcended it. They built their lies on the hope that you'd crumble, that you'd vanish into obscurity. But instead, you've risen into something they could never predict, something they could never control. You've become untouchable. Think about it. What terrifies them now isn't just that you endured their worst. It's that you turned it into your best. The pain they inflicted, you turned it into strength. The lies they spun, you wove them into armor. The shadows they cast, you forged them into a shield. Every move they made to pull you down only pushed you higher, and now you're untouchable. They stare at you now with wide eyes, unable to comprehend what they see. How could you still stand? How could you still fight? How could you thrive in the face of everything they threw at you? The truth is simple. They don't understand that power isn't given, it's earned. And you've earned every ounce of the power coursing through your veins. They didn't just fail to break you, they unknowingly helped build you. So let them watch. Let them tremble. Let them choke on the ashes of their own destruction as they see you standing there, unyielding, undeniable, and unforgettable. This is no longer about survival. It's about domination. You didn't just climb the mountain they said you'd never reach. You built a throne at its peak. And now you sit there with the unshakable calm of someone who knows they've won. Not because the world handed you the victory, but because you took it. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, this fire doesn't burn out. Because now your mission is bigger than revenge, bigger than proving them wrong. Now your mission is to show the world what's possible. To show every soul out there who's been cast into the dark. Every person who's been underestimated. Every warrior who's been beaten down, that they can rise too. You become the storm, yes, but you also become the light. The beacon that shows others the way out of their own shadows. And that's the ultimate power. The power to not just reclaim what was taken, but to uplift those who need it most. To take your scars and turn them into a map, guiding others toward their own strength. And as for those who tried to bring you down, let them stew in their regrets. Let them see the empire you've built with the stones they tried to bury you with. Let them understand that when they thought they were stealing your power, they were actually forging it. They didn't just fail to stop you. They helped create something unstoppable. So walk forward with your head high, your fire blazing, and your purpose unshakable. You are the storm, the fire, the light, and the legacy. You are the unstoppable force they'll never escape. This is your story, your triumph, and your truth. And the world? It will remember you, not for how you fell, but for how you rose, for how you conquered, for how you turned every betrayal into a masterpiece of resilience. This is the final act, but it's also the beginning of something greater. And as you move forward, one undeniable truth remains. You are inevitable. Let that truth echo. Let it roar. Let it shape the future they thought they could control. And remind them every single day that they chose the wrong person to underestimate. Now go. Claim what's yours. Rewrite your destiny, and let them watch as the fire they started consumes everything they thought they'd built. Because in the end, they didn't just fail to defeat you, they awakened a legend. And legends, they live forever.